Okay, we are on.
Let's do it.
Nice. Before we actually start with the thingy, let's go through the points just quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like our good points, man.
Yeah, interesting topics. I'm excited actually.
All right. So, welcome to a new episode of Dupl+s. Today we have a special guest. His name is Callum. He's an actor mainly, but also a producer, musician, and model. We met. When did we met?
It was at uni. It was in the class. It was the third year, right?
third or first? Because I think I saw you before COVID, but I'm not sure.
We're looking back a long time now.
I know. Probably first year.
First, yeah.
Because you were doing production, I was doing performance and production.
I was gonna say because we had some lessons together, but not all of them, was it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then I swapped to production only. I never felt confident with the performance bit. So
Huh?
I wasn't taking any singing lessons or anything, so I just
Switched.
why didn't you do performance?
I don't know. I mean, because beforehand I was actually like just a bass player, so I did like a lot of performance-based stuff. But I think I was just getting really into like production and just the whole world of that, and I think that's just what my main focus. And I knew that we had classes which like linked as well, so I knew I would meet the performance students, like singers, that way as well. So I was like, you know what, let's go production. But originally I meant to do the digital. What was it? Digital music, I think it was just called.
Oh yeah, I had friends. You remember Alvaro Latigo? He was in digital music.
That's
He was a DJ, but I don't know.
Yeah, I maybe there's because I knew a few people from that as well. But I originally applied for that course, and then when I got there, I think it was like an open day or something. Tony was there.
Ah yeah.
Our tutor.
Yeah.
And he's saying, "Oh man, you chose the wrong course. You chose the wrong course. You got to do this course. You got to do production." I was like, "Really? Is it?" Because I was more doing like like through Logic or and so I thought that's what the digital one was. But he's like, "No, do production." So I switched in the end. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, digital. I feel like it was more useful the things that they learned there.
Probably. Yeah.
They were doing a bit of everything, DJing, production.
Because I ended up doing a DJ course as like an optional one in second year, I think.
During COVID.
Yeah, because it was all online. Yeah. But that was actually decent.
Yeah.
But I just didn't. Yeah, they tried to make us use like different softwares, which I like did not have.
Yeah.
And they wanted us to pay for it, and I was like, I'm not going to learn on this software. I'm going to use my own one. Thanks. But it's decent. I mean, because like I needed to learn how to DJ for like future stuff anyway. So yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, to the people who might know and the people who don't know, who are you, and why are you here?
You invited me.
True.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Callum Preville. So I'm an actor, music producer, and a model. But yeah, I mean, I'm here to kind of help show and talk about like my experiences, what it's like behind the cameras, what it takes to kind of be an artist, a creative these days, And well, thank you. I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming, man. I always tell everyone it is truly special that you accept the invitation and help me as well to keep moving this forward. So thank you.
Yeah,
truly. And also you're the first actor in the show.
No.
So I think it's gonna be really interesting because it's a different part of this main industry, media industry that. I think we're closer in the general public to music, but not so much about acting. Also, is it me, or do actors are a bit more reserved with their personal life on social media and that?
I think it's very like, obviously everyone's slightly different. Like I know actors who love to like share everything, maybe too much. Like they're not shy. But I don't know. Yeah, like I mean, me personally, I like to have like a bit of a balance, like what I have and what I show on camera and my personal life. I like to kind of keep a lot of things private.
Okay.
It's like
I've heard somewhere. I don't know, it might be only with these Spanish agencies, but I saw a TikTok somewhere that said that the acting agencies will tell the actors to be a bit more like mysterious in social media so that people will feel more drawn to their work, what they were doing.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay.
My agent hasn't told me that yet.
He's like, hey.
Yeah. Maybe once I land a bigger role, they'll give me a call now. And like, hey, careful what you say.
Well, but bro, it's crazy. Like you have a fucking agent now and everything.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so let's rewind. Let's start with the beginning. Like, where were you born? Your upbringing, etc.
Okay, so I mean, I was born in the UK. Born in the UK. So I'm half English, half Caribbean.
Okay.
So my dad's side, we're from St. Lucia. It's a small little island amongst many in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And then my mum, she's just from here. Her family's from Wales originally. But yeah, so grew up with that. Grew up in Bournemouth. Yeah, kind of like very, very quiet, like upbringing, I would say. Like it was very good. Like but I feel like my parents were very much how do you say? Like they're very encouraging of anything I wanted to do. Like, if I like acting, for example, I enjoyed that at a young age.
Yeah.
And my parents were encouraging. But I don't think at any point it was very much like, oh, that's a career choice, It was just like, oh, he likes to do that and that's it. But yeah, but like upbringing, yeah, it was good. It was good. And like we've had a very traditional like Caribbean upbringing as well, like in terms of like food.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you this. I don't want to be eating English food. So yeah, we've been fortunate to have like my grandma's cooking in the family all the time. Man, she's the big mama in the family. Yeah.
San Lucia, like I've heard of it, like I told you before. Shout out to Kaysen if you ever watch this. I follow your shit, man. But I know because of the Simos. Have you heard of the Simos? So it's an algae. Is that
algae thing? Yeah.
Algae thing. I think it's an algae. I'm not sure, but it's a plant that has like so many minerals.
Yeah.
Apparently, because nowadays our tap water is dead.
Yeah.
It hasn't got any minerals, so people are consuming the thingy to get most of the minerals that our body needs. So good thing.
Yeah.
And the Caribbean, I've always been interested because you guys speak English and Patois.
So it's different for each island. Like just the one we're from, we speak Creole, which is also Patois. It's like broken French.
Yeah.
But it's like slightly different and English, and then other islands speak Spanish, but most of them have English in it as well.
Yeah. So, at what point of your life did you like start to get interested in arts? And I don't know if it was always acting or it was music before. Like, talk me through it.
So, yeah, basically, I was 10. I was saying to you earlier as well. I found this old like cutout thing I made when I was 10.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, it had a picture of like this little 10-year-old face, and it had these quotes and aspirations that I wanted to do, and like 3 of them said, "Oh, I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor." One of them said music, but most of it was acting.
Okay.
So like I think I was at school, primary school, 10-year-old, and I must have just joined like a drama club or drama class, and it was the first thing that I fully had like this really strong like love for, like enjoyment, like when you get that feeling in your stomach.
Yeah. And you don't get tired of it. It's just...
No, you can. It was crazy, and I mean, obviously, being a kid, you have so much energy as well. Like, but this was something different. Like, I felt it was different, and
proper calling.
Yeah, and so I remember at secondary school, I joined the drama clubs, and I was like, I don't know. School was weird, man. School was weird.
Why?
Why not? No, I mean, it's hard to kind of think back fully, but I know I was a very different person. Like back then, I was afraid of a lot of things, and I didn't really feel comfortable as myself. Whereas acting was the one class I would actually look forward to because I felt free.
Okay.
I just felt like I could be anyone I wanted. I could do anything, and it was just like very liberating, I guess. But I guess this was like a creative side I hadn't properly seen. I was getting into music a tiny bit, but it was acting that really kind of like opened my eyes, and I was just really invested in trying to understand it more and just but I loved it. I loved it.
How were the classes? Like, were they actually in depth acting, or were they like very superficial?
It was kind of a mix, because I chose it for a GCSE as well. So those classes were more actually like instructional. They're teaching you about different actors. It was more theatre based.
Okay.
Because I think they weren't. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like nowadays they do talk more about like screen acting, but back then it was more just like traditional route, like theatre, Shakespeare, Stanislavski. I think his name is. I may have butchered that. But like different artists, different actors in the past that had like really shaped how it is now.
Yeah.
And then the drama clubs on the side were just kind of like for fun, to be honest.
So there were two different classes.
Yeah. So okay. One was just for like a drama club. So this was like outside of school for fun. This is like just workshops and like little theatre shows.
Right.
But then I studied it as the GCSE as well. Yeah.
So which GCSE did you do? How was it called?
Literally just drama.
Drama,
yeah.
Okay. I remember back in college there were people doing performing arts.
Performing arts.
That was the one.
Oh, maybe it was called that. I don't know. I think it was just drama, performing arts. One of them, same thing.
They say true actors are made in theatre, no?
Yeah, I mean, I started in theatre, I guess. I think most people would start in theatre. I think that's just the system, though.
Yeah.
I find it very rare for like, especially if you're starting at a young age, they're going to go, okay, we're going to get you acting on camera. I think maybe they do this now, I'm not sure, but I think just from my experience, a lot of it is theatre.
Many of the Disney kids, they were
starting on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's their parents, I think, though.
But sometimes they're not even that good.
Yeah.
I mean, outside Disney is hard. Yeah. But theatre actors, what I've heard is that they're built
through theatre.
Fully,
yeah.
Because you have to project your voice. You have to.
Yeah, it's and I find it very interesting, like the difference between theatre acting and screen acting, because it's two kind of like opposite spectrums. Like theatre acting, for example, it's like you have to learn how to project, like you say, to like the very people at the very back row, and your body movement, your expressions have to be big, so everyone can see it. But then in film, they tell you need to imagine that everyone is in the front row, because they can see every tiny detail.
Wow. No, because I'm thinking, I'm not gonna lie. I would like to be an actor, not an actor, but I would like to.
Let's go.
to at least learn a bit of acting, so that maybe in the future, I don't know, a short film or a small role in a series, or even a big role. No, let's dream big, no. But what I was going to say is that when I've just joking with my sister tried to do acting, we always laugh at each other because we're doing maybe too much. But then I've heard that, as you said, screenplays, you need to be more conscious about the closed space that you're working on.
Yeah.
And I find that, is it harder or is it easier?
It depends, but I think it can be. It depends what you practice, because like me right now, I can say it's easier because I've been doing it a lot more.
Okay.
So if I went to do a theatre thing right now, because I haven't done that in a long time, that would be more difficult.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, people from theatre going into screen, I would say that's more difficult for them because it's just going against. It's not going against, but it's like the opposite of what you
Yeah.
have learned, you know?
Yeah.
And they always say it's easier to start high and then bring it down.
Yeah.
So in that way, like you say, theatre actors are good actors. It's because they are used to starting high, like their performance-wise, energy-wise, and then director just be like, okay, just tone it down a bit. It's easier to do that than to constantly bring the energy up, you know?
Compared to when you are in the studio and the producer keeps saying, project your voice.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, put more energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's harder. It's hard. I mean,
but also you can also, like the film as well, you can cut, it's many takes, you know?
True.
You can take a break. Obviously it's not ideal, but in theatre, it's live.
Yeah.
You're there. If you struggle or anything happens, that's it, you know?
I guess that's why they take like 6 months at least to practice the play.
Yeah.
How long, in acting, like on screens, how long does it take to prepare a scene, for example? Is it like, do you work collectively, or do you work first on your individual script, I guess, and then get together and do as many takes as you...
This is a good question.
Give me an insight.
I mean, so, okay, let's just say one scene, for example.
Okay.
Let's say it's like a scene like right now, me and you are talking. This is a scene set down, and let's say it's like three pages, double-sided. So normally it's a minute per page.
Okay.
That's a good reference to, like, always think it's 1 minute per page normally. So let's just say it's like a 3-minute scene.
Wow, so a script must be thick.
Bro, if you saw the script for my last, let's just say it was over 100 pages.
Yeah.
And I had over 100 lines, so... But anyway, this nice short little 3-page script.
Okay.
I mean, so you always you do your own preparation for your character beforehand. So, and all the other actors do. But you have some time to rehearse. So normally we like to do like Zoom calls as well before we actually meet on set.
Right.
And we just go through the script just like a table read. You know, sometimes if you do live locally, you can do a table read together, and then you just read through the script. But then you normally have like the day or the day before to do some rehearsals. Especially on the day, they'll get you in the set, they'll set everything up, and then you can like run through it a few times again. And then, to be honest, by the time it comes to actually recording, you don't even think about your lines. Like the main thing is you think about what's my action, what's
the emotion,
that, and like literally, like for example, what's stopping my character from getting up and walking out right now, you know, like why is he still sat here talking to this person?
Right.
Like there is a lot of underlining things, and it's like you learn what's the intention, what's my action, what's the emotions, all these underlining things. But also, when it comes to, as soon as the director says action, you just go with it.
Wow.
So it's like, that's why preparation is like so important in it, man.
Have you ever had that role that you haven't prepared properly? Or were like not so sure about the preparation?
Yeah, I think one of the ones I did before is only because I got casted like 2 weeks beforehand. I was like, oh man. I think I was prepared by the time I got there. But it was very stressful because I was like, 2 weeks is not a lot of time to learn all the lines, to understand the character, the dynamics between the other characters, why I feel certain ways. So I think give actors time to prepare, and then, you know, we're good. But
it's like you fully have to deep dive into the whole plot.
Exactly.
You know? And really, as they say, get into the character. As you say, you have to believe what you're doing at that moment. No? They say actors are... A friend in uni told me, you know, music might be hard, but I think acting must be really hard. You have to handle so many... And the first thing he pointed out was rejection. I was like, fuck, that's true. Like, rejection must be a big thing in acting. And then you have to work on your ego. And then he said, being an actor must be so humbling because you have to do so many roles, you have to become these characters that can be like literally the humblest person ever, or the guy who thinks he's gonna rock the world. I don't know. And that brings me to, what are your biggest fears? What are your...
I mean, so like going back to growing up as well, I always struggled with like fear. Like it kind of dictated my life for like a long time. Yeah, like anything I wanted to do, like especially acting. So like I said, I loved acting when I was young, but I was terrified of it, man. I was like every class. I remember I used to struggle. It's a stupid thing, but I used to just struggle to read off a page.
Okay.
Because sometimes like there'd be words I didn't know how to pronounce, or I was worried I was going to stutter or stuff like this. And so I remember in classes we would always do like a table read, and I'd kind of put my head down and I'd be like, no. You know, when you like just don't look at the teacher, you're like hoping don't put me. But the teacher obviously he caught onto it because I'm doing this every week now, and he's just there waiting for me to look up to have eye contact. He's like, okay, Callum, you're gonna read. I'm like, okay. But it's I needed to do it, but I just didn't want to face these fears, and so yeah, it's just loads of different aspects of life. Fear was just kind of like hindering me, and with like with COVID when that happened. So I think literally for most of my life, I dealt with fear in like a bad way. I didn't face it. I kind of just let it consume me. But when COVID happened, I kind of reached a point where I was like, I've had enough. I'm just tired of feeling this low of like, I want to do these things, but fear is just stopping me from doing it. And so I just said, fuck it. Like I'm gonna fully just commit to myself to changing the way I think. And so there's this former SAS military guy called Ant Middleton. Don't know if you've heard of him. No. So he basically wrote this book about fear.
Okay.
And I've been watching a few of his videos before, and he basically talks about how he harnessed fear whilst he was in the military. And I was thinking, okay, well, if it worked for him then, in the most extreme situations and scenarios, it's got to work for me for anything, because this is not going to compare to life or death situations, right? So and if it works for him perfectly, then it should be good. So I bought the book, and that whole time of lockdown, I was studying it, man. And I was seeing how I could apply it into my life in different aspects. So the book's called The Fear Bubble. And the whole idea is saying how fear is a time and a place.
Okay.
So let's say, for example...
so like in a way, like fear is isolated from because I guess most of us, when we have fear, we think it controls many aspects of our life. But I guess if you isolate it, it's easier to manage.
Exactly, and just understanding it instead of just like letting it happen and just, oh God, I'm afraid of this.
Yeah.
You're like peeling, it's like an onion, you're peeling away the layers and stuff. And each layer you pull away, you understand something new about it. And so I understood, like, okay, fear is a time and place. And that's a big one, because say I have let's say an audition. Let's say I've got an audition coming up Monday. I'm getting nervous beforehand already. Whoa, it's Monday. That's the time. The time is Monday at 12 p.m. or whatever. And the place is at this studio. Any time before that, I shouldn't let that control me, because it's a waste of energy. I'm wasting, you know how people can get, you can get like very nervous about things before it happens.
No issues,
It's just a waste of energy. And so the whole idea is you kind of just learn that, okay, it's happening that time and day. And then when it comes to that time and day, imagine you see like a bubble around it.
Okay.
So that I see where I'm sitting down, and I imagine a bubble, and that is the fear. And then obviously you get that horrible feeling in your stomach, your hands get all thingy. Oh, even me talking about it now, I'm getting into it. But the whole idea is, okay, fight or flight. That feeling, that reaction you're having is your body telling you, get ready. It's telling you to get ready. You're about to go into it. And once you go into it, you have to fully commit to whatever you're doing, 100% commit to whatever it is. And then when it's done, you get a adrenaline rush.
Yes, I was going to say.
Like any time you've done something you're afraid to do, on the other side of once you've done it, how do you feel?
Good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even if you didn't succeed in what you're doing, the fact that you committed to it,
true,
you're like, oh, okay. So I start focusing on that after feeling instead now. That adrenaline rush, like obviously you can't get rid of the feeling of fear. That's just human nature. Like it's going to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I found that was like very like that was a turning point. And that's actually what got me like starting to chase my goals and my dreams, because I was thinking, okay, I'm afraid to do most of these things actually, but I know I want to do them, so let me apply this method. And I literally applied it to loads of things, and yeah, it started working.
It's a really good technique. I was thinking how I overcame my own fears, and I didn't have a technique, but I think at some point I was just like, if I'm gonna be afraid that for the rest of my life, what kind of life I'm gonna live? And I just thought, if I don't do it myself, who's gonna do it for me?
Exactly.
Am I gonna just regret it for the rest of my life? No, man.
Yeah.
But that's really interesting, because it's isolating the fear. It stops seeing it as part of me or something that is consuming me entirely. I'm more like, as we said, like from a third point of view.
Yeah. It's just
about it.
learning to harness it, because like everyone has fear, but it's one of those things where I think it just does dictate a lot of people's lives, and it's only down to you. Like as you say, no one's going to do it for you to decide if when's enough is enough. So
was that the only way? Was that the only moment where you felt like you were overcoming your fears, or there were more moments that you remember?
That was definitely the main one, because that was literally like a turning point on just how I viewed things and thought since then. I mean, there must have been like moments before when I did little achievements, and I stepped into fear, but that is definitely like the main turning point though. So
I remember you did an event last year. It was called Beyond Music. Talk me through that.
Beyond Music, okay. But first, I need a toilet again.
Cut.
I'll try and do pauses when I need to. Oh man, why is it? I'm too excited now.
So, Beyond Music. First of all, what it meant for you?
Okay. So for me, this was like, I always wanted to see people's reactions to my music live, because when you make songs and stuff and you upload it anywhere, you don't see people's reactions. You can get messages back, but for me, I really wanted to actually physically see how people viewed it, how they heard it. And also it was kind of just like always like a dream again, like an idea of what if I can make something which is kind of unique as well and different. Because I don't think, last I checked, I don't think I had seen any producer create a show where they had all these different artists singing and performing in an event, and it was like the producer's event. And I said to you earlier, Dr. Dre was like my biggest inspiration for it. And I saw his, I think it was the same year actually, he did like a Super Bowl thing.
Yeah.
And it was like crazy good. Like he had, Snoop Dogg, he had 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige.
He organized it.
He organized the whole thing, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and like, so he paid for, like, Eminem was there as well.
That was like
Kendrick Lamar.
2 years ago?
Yeah. But I love the idea of, him bringing all the artists that he'd worked with before to create like such a crazy event, man. And so, I thought like, that would be, I thought about the idea because I always wanted to hear my song in a club as well. And at the time I was working, what was it? No, there's a DJ social event at Orange Rooms. So I literally was like, oh, well, this is a nice place. And I got made good connections with the people who worked there, like supervisors and the managers and stuff. And I just remember I just randomly, I was like, let me just ask them, see what they say if they do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I walk in the next day and the manager's there, and I sit down and we had like a little meeting about it. And I pitched him the idea. And like I said, it was just like an idea in my head, like not knowing what was going to happen. And he was like,
that's amazing.
I love it. Yeah. He was like, man, he was like, we've been looking for something just like we've been wanting to do a live event.
Yeah.
We've been waiting for something like this, and they're like, when do you want to do it? Tomorrow? I was like, Jesus, man, hey, whoa. No, hang on a second.
I'll see how you student. Come on.
Yeah.
Give me time.
I got 10 essays this week, man. So I was like, okay, this is actually possible now. So and basically from there, I think I just planned it for like 2 months later or something. But yeah, that's how it started.
Wow.
Yeah.
And after, so how it went? I remember I was there, but what was your impression of it?
Yeah, the actual night.
Yeah.
Man. Oh man. Honestly, I say it's still probably one of the best nights of my life. So,
how many artists did you bring? It was 5 or 6?
6. So there was Laura Dia, Clava, Dr. Music, Madame Lord Mel, Matti Miliano, and Idem.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so the best thing about it as well, I was thinking the way I planned it was a Wednesday night as well, and at the end of Orange Rooms on Wednesday night they have a Fiesta Loca event, and obviously Matty's a Spanish artist as well, so I thought if I had him at the end, it would perfectly because the music's very similar, like and every artist as well, they're all incredible, and they all play very unique styles of music. So I thought, regardless of what people like, there's going to be something for everyone there as well, and it's a good way to showcase what they do. But honestly, yeah, that event like couldn't have gone any better. Like I remember we rehearsed it a few times and stuff, and for a lot of them it was their first time performing on stage. Like I said, I'd done some theatre stuff on stage before, and I played bass on stage, so I wasn't too. It was my first time doing that.
Yeah.
But I kind of was like okay with it, but some of them had never like performed, like Matty. That was his first one.
Oh, that was his first?
That was his first.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And and like I said to him, he was nervous before, and obviously rightly so.
Yeah.
But I say to him, as soon as you go on the stage and it starts,
trust me.
it takes over. Something else takes over you, and he loved it. He had a great time. But I remember my friend said to me when I was up on the stage, he said, just take a moment and like look at everyone, and just really live in that moment, because it's like you've done this.
Yeah.
Because tonight's gonna it's gonna go quick.
And people don't think that all the stress that you've been through before, just to organize it, to prepare it, to have everything on points, and then when the night actually comes, you're more worried about is everything going all right than actually enjoying it. Yeah. So that was a good advice, actually.
Yeah, man, I'm making sure I'm looking at all the stuff on the computer screens. I'm telling the guy to sort the levels out, but I did take a moment halfway through or something, and I was like looking at everyone's face, everyone's smiling, dancing. And this is the first event as well, and I thought, we would get maybe like 40 people, 50 people. Bro.
How many?
There was over 200.
Wow.
You were one of them.
Yeah. Damn.
I still to this day, I was so...
That's success, man.
And like, I'm happy I also kind of... Because I had like film students there, and like Felipe was there as well, and like I got them to just try and film some of what's happening and take pictures, and Felipe made this crazy like edit after, and I was like, damn, I didn't know it. I'm just seeing it from my eyes and seeing this, but to see the whole thing come together like that, like...
Shout out to Felipe.
Yeah, shout out to Felipe.
Still waiting on your interview. She came, man. She came. We did the whole interview. The audio was off.
Hey.
No, man.
I'm not involved in that.
Actually, let me just double check that we're actually recording, because I don't wanna. This is such a good conversation. It's all good. Thanks God, Jesus Christ. Imagine. No, but yeah, man, the whole audio. And we were like, fucking hell, man.
Is it?
Yeah, we just recorded the first 20 minutes. Then we did a cut.
You didn't test the audio before?
No. That was my mistake.
Always test. Yeah.
Anyways. So, beyond music. Okay, man. That's crazy. 200 people. Your first event.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. Yeah.
That's something to be proud of, to be honest.
Definitely.
After that, did you get more contacts? Did some networking, or did you just enjoy it as a thing to for the books, I guess.
Hell nah. I got back to work straight away, man. Yeah, literally the flipping manager of the Orange Room was like, he was asking me to come back and do it every week.
Every week.
I was like, mate, this took me like 2 months to plan. Everyone's at uni, we've got different schedules.
Yeah.
Like we did another one eventually, but yeah, man, like I kind of that really helped with my confidence. So like really like it was like a catapult, you know. It like kind of propelled me forward, like mentally and everything, because it was kind of this it's like a wake up call. It was like, okay, this is possible, because this is one of my dreams again. Like when I first went to that DJing thing at Orange Rooms, all I wanted is just to hear one song of mine at the club. I was thinking very small. I was like, I just want one song. That's all that'd be cool to hear one song of mine at the club.
Yeah.
And then I do the whole set list and the whole night, selling that many tickets, and it's all of my songs. Like that, that was crazy. So I realized then, you know, okay, whatever I commit to, if I plan it and fully commit, it can actually happen. So
hey, shout out to Orange Rooms.
yeah, shout out to Orange Rooms.
It has helped a lot of people to.
Shout out to Dan. Danny.
Oh, man. I can see that self-confidence has been like a big personal journey for you.
Yeah.
And I guess being an actor, as I said, is a humbling, but also it requires a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
How would you describe your journey? Like what would be milestones apart from the two that we just talked to?
Yeah. Yeah, I think like whenever I found a way to step out of my comfort zone or like commit to stuff, anything that's like something you again are afraid to do, but you know it's what you want to do. They're all tiny milestones, you know. There's that quote which is like what is it? You don't look at the whole ladder, you just focus on one step at a time or something.
True.
And that's kind of it sounds cliche, but it's kind of how I think you grow confidence. You just do the small things every day or something to step out your comfort zone.
Yeah. I think that's how humans are wired, no? We cannot picture. We might dream big, but in order to achieve it, we need to do. Like our mind needs to be a bit more schematic, as in like little steps, you know.
Yeah.
After that, I guess you finish uni.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So so basically finished uni. Still was on a high from like all the music stuff that was happening. And then I'm trying to think of my year placements, man. I'm trying to think what year Beyond Music actually happened in my head. It was I think this was third year. So this was
2022.
So you got to think about it too, man.
I think because 2022.
So this was so it was the year we finished uni, wasn't it? Okay. Gosh, I don't remember what happened at the end.
Because I'm trying to remember if it was before, like 2 months before graduation, or was it a bit early?
I think it was at the start of the year. I think it was January that year.
Okay.
But it was the year we we finished. So finished uni. Moved into a new place, and at that point, I was doing a few student films as well. So I had finished because I was like, I wanted to get back into acting at that point. So I basically started speaking to a lot of the film students and actors on the course, and I started making connections with them. Like I said, a few of them went to the Beyond Music event as well. And basically, I started doing a lot of student films, like a lot. I can't remember how many I did that year, but I did a few. Again, it just increased my confidence. And especially with acting, because before I was afraid to get back into it. I didn't think I was good enough. I thought, like I'm judging or comparing myself to all these other actors, and I'm thinking they're way above, and stupid way to think. But doing the student films, for me, obviously you don't get paid anything. They're not the best. They don't treat you the best on some of them. But it's practice. It's perfect. It's perfect practice. I was like, that's all I need. I need to practice. I need to step out of my comfort zone, learn what works, what doesn't work. And it's screen acting as well, which was what I wanted to do. And it was obviously different to theatre. So I got to learn and like how to dial it down from that. And then, yeah, so I basically just kind of, so this would have been now following to last year. I kind of made the choice that acting, because people always ask me, what do you prefer, music or acting? Man, I was always like, it was always like neck on neck.
Yeah. Well, you can be like Childish Gambino.
I could be, yeah. I mean, he's very talented at both, yeah. But yeah, but for me, I was like, acting, something was just really calling me for it. Like, I thought, you know what, I've given the music a go as well. I've been studying this for like 3 years now, Southampton for 4 years at this point, doing music. Why not? Let's just take not a break, but like, let's just kind of put more of my energy towards acting for a bit. And that's what I did last year. And
2023.
Yes, yeah. So I fully committed to like, let's just go 100% all in for this now. And I always remember the first thing I did that year was actually it was like a mix between theatre and screen acting. It was like it was a short film, and it was like a green screen film. So I'd never done a green screen film. I always remember one of the first things someone says to me is I had to like turn around and look at something in the screen, because obviously they add it in post, and they're like, Callum, can you just look a bit more up, a bit more down? I'm like, the whole thing is green. Like, there's nothing to.
Yeah.
So I had to adjust to that as well. But that was a very, very difficult, because I had 1 month to prepare, because it was 30 pages, which isn't a lot. But there was going to be no cuts because they were filming it in the TV film studio.
Okay.
So they have 3 cameras.
How did you land at that?
Oh God, how did I? I don't remember that. I think it was. Oh yeah. So I worked with the producer. Yeah, I'd worked with her on a student project beforehand.
Okay.
And yeah, she asked me to audition for it. She said that she thought I was like well fitted for the role. So she asked me to audition for it.
So there was a professional producer who worked on a short student film already working in the TV industry?
No. So this still, it wasn't a student project. It was done by students. But it was like
funded by.
It was funded by themselves. Like they did their own funding for this one. Yeah. It wasn't for coursework. Yeah, because they used it at the studios at the uni. But it was different to anything I'd done, because it was like green screen and no cuts between things. I was thinking, I ain't done that before. Like 30 pages. That's 30 minutes. Of just acting without cutting.
Wow.
That's a lot of lines to remember in one go. Like,
damn.
But I was up for the challenge. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna commit to it. This is the first thing. All right, let's do it. You know, this is a good way to start the year. And it went really well. It was difficult, but like me and the other actor, it was like we really worked our asses off for that. And yeah, and again, like once we finished that, like the confidence, because again, I said, oh wow, I fully committed to this project, and it ended up being really good. It's just like, again, a reassurance that this works, you know. So
wow.
Yeah.
And I guess your confidence back then was way different than now. In that process of you evolving, I guess. When did you started to work outside of the student environment, I guess?
Yeah, I think as soon as I finished uni, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think because I had done a lot of student like related things.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to kind of drift away and see.
Because the green screen was still student.
It still was, but it wasn't. It just wasn't like the other ones were for projects for like their coursework. But this one was like the first one where it's on their own, sort of. It was like it was actually passion based. It wasn't coursework based.
Okay.
And I thought that was a nice change actually, because you haven't got as many restrictions, or there was deadlines, but it wasn't as thingy,
Yeah.
So.
And after that, how did you start to look like, how does an actor start to land jobs? Like, what was the first step, or how did you approach it?
So I did a lot of research. So I was following a lot of accounts, like acting accounts, and I networked a lot with actors, and I asked them, how do they do this? So what it came to is I realized I needed something called Spotlight.
Okay.
And so Spotlight is basically like the number one thing any agent or anyone who is interested in you in the UK will look at. So it's a portfolio, it's a profile. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think in music terms. It's kind of having like a Spotify account or like, you know, for artists, right? Like if you're doing music, you kind of want to be on Spotify, right? It's similar to that, but it's like, yeah, it's your headshots, which are like your picture portfolio things, your show reels, who you're represented by if you are, and then like you have the credits of all the films you've done.
Okay.
And it's basically, yeah, like any casting director or agent.
Like a CV, like a actor.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Acting CV.
Exactly like that, yeah. Acting CV basically, yeah. But problem is with Spotlight, because it's also a very professional thing, it's like the top thing used in the UK, it's not as easy to get as anything else. So I realized this, I was like, right, okay, so what you need to get is, there's I think 3 different ways you can get it. One is by doing a university course. So all the actors who study it, you get Spotlight at the end of it because you've done a 3-year course or whatever, and it just comes with your degree, diploma.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you have to pay to get in the Spotlight.
You don't have to pay.
So how? So
you do have to pay something, like there's somewhat smaller, but
so
that's just one way.
So not anyone can have a Spotlight. So
no, you can't just sign up and pay for it and get it.
Right.
You can't just do that, no.
Okay, but so does it work like a invitation, or is it because you have certain diploma or because you have certain qualification? Like how does it work to get in?
Yeah, so that's one way.
Okay.
Through education, so you have to do the course. Another way is through something called equity.
Okay.
I'm not too familiar with equity, but I know you can like apply for it and pay for it's like a subscription, I think, or I'm not entirely sure of that one. But the third way, which seemed to me like the only way I could get it, was you need to have, I think it's 2 or 3 professional credits. So IMDb, you need to have credits on that. And I was thinking, this is a bit of a paradox, because the only way to get credits on IMDb is feature films, like big films.
Yeah.
The only way to get on the feature films is with Spotlight.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was thinking, oh, well, okay, this isn't. But luckily enough, actually, one of the student films I did, for some reason they submitted it as this thing, and it got through on this festival thing, and it got a credit. I had 1 credit already.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, this is actually possible. So for my goal for that year was to basically get onto Spotlight.
So let's say that you work on a project. Is it like, how do they give you a credit? Like, do they? I'm thinking like a passport and stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking like
no.
Okay, so
it's I don't know how they do it themselves. Like this, they I think they have to submit it to IMDb or submit it to somewhere.
Yeah.
Like most feature films or anything that's professional will have a credit. Like it's credited because it's it's part of like this, industry thing that it has to go with a credit all the time.
Okay.
But student films don't normally, because they're just student films. And short films are hit or miss. Some of them do, some of them don't. I think if they submit it to film festivals, it normally has a credit, but sometimes it doesn't.
Right.
But yeah, so that was my goal. I had to get 3 credits within that year. I said to myself, I'm going to get 3 credits and then get onto Spotlight. But there is another platform called Mandy.
Okay.
So there's 3 different ones called Mandy, Backstage, and Star Now. So they're all owned by the same company now. So this you pay monthly. Anyone can pay for this though, and it's more like lower tier jobs. Some of them can be pretty good if you're lucky, but a lot of them are student projects or short films. But anyone can do them.
I guess it makes it more accessible to actually land a proper a professional role to get the big credit.
The credits, yeah, exactly. And that's why I was like, okay, this is where I can start then, and it's a way to branch out and work in different environments, different people, because that's also the fun of the job as well. You get to work with so many different people and different ideas of doing things. So that's what I wanted to do as well. So I got that, and then I started like doing different films like in different places, because up until then it was just Southampton. And then I started doing it in Brighton, London, Wales, all different places.
Wow.
And so yeah, it was good.
Do you think in this industry there's a lot of nepo kids?
A lot of what?
Have you heard of the term nepo kids?
I haven't.
So in nepotism, as far as I have understood, is kids who have been raised in a silver spoon. Yeah. So rich parents and that.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of those kids in the industry to be able to, I guess, afford living in London, let's say, fully commit to acting without working or having to manage a schedule?
Yeah, I think it exists. Yeah, I definitely think like.
Have you encountered any that you can remember?
I mean, I've done films with like a few people who obviously like they've grown up in London, like nice areas in London, and they've gone to pretty good drama schools and stuff like that. And so I have encountered them, and I think it is like very common. But the way I saw it was the fact that I'm still here on the same film as a person who went to drama school, a good drama school, grew up in London, had all the connections, and I've started from like nothing, and I'm doing the same film as this person, and with similar roles. Like that to me is, that's more powerful than growing up in this, being.
And as we talked earlier, it really shows how humbling being an actor is.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter where you come from.
Yeah.
You might get the same role as the guy who was raised in a normal neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wow. I have here that you did a film in Norway.
Yes.
When did it happen? Did it happen long after or short after what you just said?
So it was around the same time.
Okay.
So as I was, as I said, as I was going on those sites and stuff, doing different films, it was around that time, and so my head was like fully in the acting world now. And funny enough, it was actually with someone I knew. So talk about coincidence and chances or whatever, or fate.
I think it's a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's a coincidence.
It was crazy because I was doing my part-time job as well. I worked at like this student accommodation.
Yeah.
And so one day they were doing like an open day. They wanted me to go to the universities to just showcase whatever the accommodation BS stuff. I don't care. Anyway, the point is,
what was your part-time job back then?
It was just at a student accommodation, so like a.
Sorry, I understood. Okay, so working in the student accommodation.
Okay. Just like reception.
Right.
Thing, yeah.
Okay.
But I did this as well because I finished uni.
Yeah.
And I thought, this is a good way to make connections. Still.
True.
I was still having that mindset. I was like, how many singers am I going to bump into? How many film people am I going to bump into?
That's good.
So it's a good way to stay connected.
Yeah.
Funny enough, it's what I'm doing now still. Part-time. Just at a different place. Always hustling.
So it was good for the CV then.
But so I was at the uni now, doing the thing for the job. And then I bump into this girl who's a producer, and she was on that green screen film I told you about. She was on this, and I bumped into her, and I was like, how's it going? Like, you got any films coming up, any projects? She's like, oh, actually, yeah, we're planning to do this pretty big, ambitious one. And she starts telling me about it, and I was like, oh wow, the story's really interesting. And then she finishes talking about it, and I'm like, okay. Do you need an actor for this?
Where can I sign up?
Yeah. Can I audition right now?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, actually, we haven't cast the lead role yet.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, is it a male? And she was like, yeah.
Ooh.
And I was like, can I audition? And she was like, okay, yeah, well, I'll speak to the director and see what he says. And the good thing is, it's one thing me saying, oh, I can act or whatever. She saw me act. Because she was in that film that whole time.
True.
She's seen it. Because I think, it's one thing saying it, but if you can see and show, that goes far beyond than just talking about what you can do. And then literally the next day, I had like I don't know how many hours I had, but they sent me like 3 pages of the script to audition for the day after. My memory is terrible. I'll tell you this now. My memory is terrible.
How is that possible, man? You're a fucking actor.
Yeah, I know. But I just have to repeat or write things down. Like I have to repeat it so many times in my head for it to be drilled in.
Yeah.
Because like I say to myself, even in auditions, I don't want to read off. Most auditions you're allowed to read off of a thing. Actually, I say okay, maybe not most, but some auditions you can read off of the script and to the person. But whenever I look down and read at the paper, it's not the character. You know, it's me looking at it.
Yeah.
So I prefer to just be off book completely. And so I spent 5 hours just repeating 3 flipping pages in my head. Oh man, but I got good at it, and then went in for the audition, and they liked it. The director, I could see he liked it, and he literally said to me, "Oh, you understand the character?" I was like, "Please," but oh yeah, I forgot to say this is the thing as well. As I was doing the audition, they said, "Oh yeah, so if you get the part, we're planning to go to Norway to fly, and we'll fly you out, pay for everything." And I was like watching Vikings at the time. And I was like,
so hyped up. I was like,
yes, man, Odin.
Wow, man.
And then so I waited a week of torture because I just didn't know. And then
how's the casting environment? Is it as harsh as the many actors say?
Yeah. I mean, when it gets to actually like doing auditions in London and like applying for things like that, that's brutal. But these things here, this is still like, I wasn't at that level just yet. I think I'll still kind of slowly get into that. So it wasn't as bad, and especially because I knew a lot of the people here, I felt quite safe. Like I felt, they seen me work before. But yeah, and then a week went past, and then I happened again to be listening to this flipping Viking song at the same time.
Wow.
And then I got the text. Yeah. Oh my God. It was the gods. Yeah. And then I got the
Odin looking after
Odin, the old father. Yeah. And then I got the text saying you got the role. And then like, God, oh man, that was like crazy. And then within the next couple of weeks.
It was a text, that wasn't a phone call, no.
I think the producer texted me, but then the director gave me a phone call when we started talking, and then man, it was beautiful. Like,
what did you talk about? Is he like, hey, congratulations for getting the role, and just to let you know, like,
they said congratulations, you got the part. We loved your audition. We thought you ticked off these qualities for the role. We really see your dedication because you read the thing, you didn't read off the script, like little things like that, and I was like, I knew that would actually play in my favor,
Of course.
So yeah, and
wow.
Then I flew out, and
so which month is that? They said
this would have been March, I think, or
so still cold.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Still cold. There's snow everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved it. I wanted there to be snow, to be honest. But I was out there for 2 weeks, I think, doing this film. And like, again, this was just, again, a dream come true. Like, I'm getting flown to a different country, doing the job I love, get the lead role and everything. And like, also, most of the cast and crew, actually, I was the only non-Norwegian actor. All the other actors were Norwegian, which was brilliant for me because I got to like work with them.
Fucking Vikings.
Bjorn Ironside.
Imagine.
I mean, he had a really big beard as well. And like all the cast and crew were all Norwegian, so we were staying at like their places and everything, and so I got to indulge in their culture and everything.
Oh, nice.
And that's the best thing, as you know, when you travel and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was like eating all the food they had, like doing everything like that. Have you ever had brown cheese?
Brown cheese.
That's all the Norwegians know about that, brown cheese.
And it's actually brown.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's sweet, and you have like this bread, brown cheese, and you put like some jam on it.
Let me just look it up.
Yeah, so it's a Norwegian delicacy. They have a thing called a cheese cutter as well.
Oh damn. Brown cheese.
Yeah.
Brown cheese.
Like, I don't know what to think of us, but
oh yeah. It looks like, I will put in post-production, Brunost? It's called Brunost?
That's it. Yeah, that's cheese cutter.
And is it sweet?
Yeah. I think I had that thing every breakfast.
Brunost is a common Norwegian name for mysost, a family of soft cheese-related foods made with whey, milk, and or cream. Okay.
Making me hungry, man.
And it's brown because of the sugars that are being caramelized after
Yeah, that's
boiling.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good. Yeah, I had that every
Tasty.
morning.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I miss it.
I imagine, man. And so, what was the role about? Like, is it being released or not yet?
Yeah, it got released a while ago. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, the role was so he's kind of like a very arrogant, egotistical asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Getting cast out a lot of those by recently. Anyway,
Must be your Leo.
I don't know what's going on. I'm getting typecast for that. But yeah, so it was about this, but it was also had like a folklore horror aspect to it,
Okay.
which was like a Norwegian folklore. So there was this creature called the Holdra.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you say it. And it's basically like this woman who roams the forest or these dark woods. She's got like a tail and everything, and she lures men into the forest. And then it's up to interpretation to what happens to them, but like most of them dead probably, or she eats them or something.
Okay.
And the whole idea is
Is she like a creature, a witch?
yeah, it's like a creature. Yeah.
Okay.
The whole idea is like at face value, she looks human, but her back, she's like got it looks like a tree, almost like the bark. You know, like the bark on a tree. Like her back looks like this, and then it's like a creature from the back. So she hides that, but she shows men like what they want to see. Obviously,
in many cultures, in mythology, like for example, in Japan, there's this myth about I don't know if it's a god or it's a creature or a demon, but it's a woman who is half human, half fox, and
I know Kitsune.
Yes, that one.
Kitsune, yeah.
And she lures men into, I don't know, I think she kills them or eats them, I don't know. But if you think about it, in many mythologies, it's the same story, no? A woman who lures a man.
Mermaids, sirens, they sing to sailors.
True.
Bring them under the water.
True. So,
damn.
it's a bit of a chauvinistic word, man. But yeah, so the creature and that's it. That's the plot.
So yeah, it follows that, and then there's this other character played by Sigurd. Shout out Sigurd, I love you, man. He plays this other character who me and him have this like it's almost like a father and son relationship, because basically my character's gone out here because he's gone through a breakup and stuff, which he caused, and this guy is trying to teach him how to be like a good man, like a proper, someone who treats women nicely, who's sort of respectful and not arrogant, like humble. So he's the person who's meant to be teaching him these lessons, and he's actually warning him about this Holdra. He knows about the folklore. He knows there's something there, and he finds out. So the film's called The North Ridge. He finds out that my character's been going to the North Ridge because he's been seeing a woman there, and he's like, "You need to stop," Now, this is where the story gets interesting, because it depends on if he listens to his advice or not. Will he go there again? Will he stay? Who knows? You have to watch the film. Yeah.
Hey, great promotion.
I'm used to it.
So how long did it take the shooting?
So yeah, two weeks of shooting. I can't remember how long it took them to edit. Maybe like a month or so. Again, this wasn't like a big production, so it was fairly quick compared to how it usually would be.
But was it a short film? No.
It was a short film.
It was a short film,
I think it was originally meant to be 30 minutes, but I think it got cut down to 20.
Wow, but the budget, I mean, to fly.
Budget, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and they paid for all my food and everything, man.
Wow.
I kept on going to 7-Eleven. I've never been to 7-Eleven before, and they had it everywhere in Norway.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. After that, I guess the networking crazy.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
And then you come back to England, and what you do? What do you keep? Searching?
I kept on. Yeah, so again, I kept on using those sites again, because I kind of set myself 3 goals that year. So one was to get onto Spotlight. The other was to get an agent. That was like far, like, I didn't know where to start with that, to be honest. And then the last one was just to do like something crazy to do with acting, like a crazy dream, and obviously flying to Norway to do that definitely ticks that off. So I was like, okay, we've got one done. So yeah, I just kept on applying for films and kept on doing different ones. I did a really nice one in Brighton. And then, yeah, that was it. And then eventually, I think it was around last summer, June. Yeah, it was around June time. I managed to book my first feature film. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And how? I always ask how because I'm thinking so many people obviously doing the same thing. So how did you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I always say connections are important because, as you said before, I met the producer. I asked her if I could audition, but I guess these people have obviously places to go and have like a catalog of actors, no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But how do they? So is it more like there's not really a specific type profile to of an actor or how you must look to done a job? It's more about how you do it, I guess. So
yeah, I mean, like, this is why it's always good to play different roles, in my opinion, because one is fun, but two, you can showcase in your show reels different. Like, for example, I have friends, and I started doing it now.
yeah.
They'll have like a comedy show reel, drama show reel, a casual show reel. Like, you showcase different,
What's a show reel? Is it like
it's just like a cut together of different scenes that you're in. But you like, I do it myself. A lot of people can get it to edit.
Yeah.
People to edit it, but I literally just use iMovie. It's free on my Mac. So I always ask the producer or whatever, send me the footage by like video file, and I just cut bits which I think my performance is really showcasing a specific role, and then you just literally cut them together, make it around 2 minutes.
So like a trailer of yourself.
Yeah, basically, literally, a 2-minute trailer, and then like you'll name it drama show reel, casual show reel, whatever, action show reel, and then you have that on your profiles, and then like when someone goes to look for you, you have more chances of getting cast because look, he's done this role here, I can see it.
Yeah.
You know.
In your profile, how many reels do you have at the moment?
Right now, 3. Yeah,
3.
I've got action, casual, and like a drama one, like anything that's kind of dramatic, intense stuff. Yeah.
That feature film took me through it.
Yeah. I need a toilet.
Again, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
I don't know what's happening.
You have a small bladder.
The thing is, my dad does, but I'm normally good, man. It's because I'm talking a lot. I'll be quick.
I don't know if this is too unprofessional, but I'm just gonna do it. I'm stuttering. Sorry. Well, you keep talking. So talk me through the movie that you did.
Yeah. So the feature film. So I actually got. I would say I got pretty lucky with finding it because the site I've been using, Mandy, it almost. I mean, there is feature films on there, but it's like I'd rarely see them being advertised. It's normally.
It's a platform, no?
Yeah, so it's
in the movies. Something.
Yeah, so I would basically normally just see student films, short films, theatre, right, and barely feature film. But it's one time I saw one, but because a lot of people also asked me as well, they didn't have much success with Mandy, and I had really good success that year. But the thing is, I would apply for 10 jobs at least every single day. So, because I knew like rejection or whatever, but the chances of getting anyone to even reply is slim. I would get maybe 1 or 2 replies per week. I'm applying to like 50, 60 a week. I'm getting 2 come back to me.
Yeah.
I knew I had to keep applying that much. Yeah. So at least every week I would have one form of communication with a casting director or something like that. So yeah, I saw the feature film was advertised on there. I was like, oh, great, okay, that's the fun. Let's apply for it as usual. And then you kind of you read the synopsis of the story and the character description. I try not to get too attached to it, but like I always remember this character description. It said something like loyal boyfriend. What else did it say? Well, the ending though, it always caught me. It said, handsome and charming, but has a dark secret. That was it. But has a dark secret. And I was like, fly, 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 fly. And then, weirdly enough, like the same day, I got a reply saying, "Oh yeah, we would love to see you audition for this." And I was like, "Oh mad, okay, well, cool."
Did you have to pass many filters? As in
like yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes no. This one was a few more, but like it wasn't too many. Like normally you would do, especially if there's like romance in it, you normally do a chemistry test with the actress.
Makes sense.
To make sure that you you actually work well together. And so yeah, I did the audition, sent it over, and then I was waiting. And then they said that they liked it, and then I did a chemistry test with the actress, and then that worked out really well.
Yeah.
And then they said, "You got it," and I was like,
"Wow, man!"
I was like, "What?" But it kind of just doesn't feel real straight away. And then yeah, and I didn't know too much about what the hell's going on, and I realized I was the second lead role on this film, which is like again. So keep in mind, I've been doing films which was like 30 pages at most. From 30, I'm now going to 130 pages.
Wow.
And I was like, oh. But this again, like everything that's been going up this way, like the self-confidence.
2 hours movie? No, 2 hours, no. No, how much?
Yeah, no, it is, yeah.
2 hours, yeah. Oh, fuck.
I don't know if it's actually 2 hours now, because obviously they cut things, but the script in itself, it was like around that. And yeah, and so I read the whole script and everything, and then we did the whole table read, and I was loving it, and I was like, this is crazy. And we filmed this one up in North Yorkshire.
Okay.
So I've never been that far north before as well. But yeah, like I'll say, man, it's still technically a small budget for a feature film. It's not like a huge one. But compared to anything I had done, this was by far like the biggest thing. One, I get a credit straight away because it's professional. It's with an actual film company, and there's like a whole distributor and everything like that. And but man, you really see the difference in feature films and student films, like just the professional and like how.
Like, what was the first thing that got your attention?
I got a flipping picked up from London. I got picked up from London and got driven all the way to North Yorkshire.
Budget.
As before, they make me walk.
I took the fucking train, man.
So I got picked up from that, and and then obviously like we had a accommodation, like where we were filming. We had a place for us to stay and everything, and
it wasn't like trailers. No,
no. I'm not there yet.
Are they calling you or calling me?
I'm not connected to there, my friend.
Sorry. What? I'm just gonna disconnect. What? I know. Hold on, because that might have stopped the recording.
Oh right,
Again. So yeah, the biggest difference is they drove you all the way there accommodation wise.
And then we had accommodation on set, and like obviously there was a set. They built things from scratch, like there was prosthetics, makeup machines, like everything was like proper. The cameras were really like, I think the cameras were similar to the ones at the uni.
Yeah.
But obviously the difference is this wasn't at a uni. They had the camera just there, multiple of them.
Yeah.
Like normally when you do a lot of student films, it's just one camera, but here there was like two at multiple times, so they can like film both actors at once, and it just saves them a lot of time.
Of course.
And it saves us multiple takes for so it's nice and fresh.
That's something that I always wonder, because I've heard that, for example, in TV they have different cameras.
Yeah.
But then in films they just use one.
Yeah.
The best one, but they just use one. You have to repeat.
Yeah. Most of the times it is one camera though. A lot of the times it is one, because what will happen is they have two camera teams sometimes, A and B, and let's say if they want to get multiple things filmed, say if I have a scene where it's just me and this person, and there's two other people, or camera A will just get us, camera B will get them. You know, it just saves time as well. So, but most of the times it is one camera though. Yeah. But yeah, man, it was crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
And
How much time did you spend in that
filming that one? I actually don't remember. I think it was near a month. But it was good. But funny enough, I was ridiculously ill as soon as we started filming. I even forgot about this until now.
Wow.
And basically, yeah, like I think I had food poisoning the day before or something, literally.
No.
So like I had no sleep the night before, and I was being sick the night before. And you know, they were saying, "Oh, do you think it's nerves and stuff?" But I was like, "I've been nervous before, but this is like something else. Like I definitely think this is food poisoning." So my stomach was off, and I just remember the first 3 days of filming, like I felt so bad. But there was this quote that stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Shout out David Goggins.
Shout out.
He says, like, when you're feeling your worst, you have to perform at your very best.
Okay.
And I don't know why that was the thing that stuck with me, but I was thinking, this is my first feature film, man. This is like actually the biggest opportunity I could have been given.
So
far, because this has been going to be put on Amazon Prime. Like, that's a huge milestone. Like, you know, so I thought my performance always has to be 100%. So no matter how I felt, like I literally remember in between takes, like I'll do this crazy performance, they cut, and then I'm just there with a water bottle, and they're like, this is for tea. And then they're like, half the cast didn't even know I was ill.
Oh wow.
Because I was trying to hide it the whole time. But that shows, like, when you watch the film back, like, you don't see I'm ill at all. It's like it's a proper performance the whole way, and so that's why I'm very proud of that film, actually.
Wow.
It's actually out now on Amazon, so
you truly gave your 100%, man.
Yeah, I definitely had to.
Wow, man. How's it called, the movie?
The Madness of Humpty. Check it out.
Okay.
Or just type down my name on Amazon. So it'll come up on the film.
Wow. And what, like, take me a bit more of that experience. Like, what did you take in after that? Like, what was your biggest lessons?
I think, well, I was always like, kind of, again, obviously I was nervous going into it because I had only done smaller projects until that. But honestly, I felt like my performance was actually the same level, if not, like, I felt like sometimes I was putting more effort in than other actors at that level. So I thought, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. I thought everyone else would be like crazy, like
professional.
Yeah. But I was actually like, okay, we're actually similar level. So I was thinking, okay, so maybe
I'm able to do
it. Yeah, I can do. Maybe I can push myself even further and stuff. And yeah, like I learned a lot on, like, obviously loads of things still go wrong on set, and it's kind of learning how to stay focused and adjust for it.
Yeah. And
then but I think the good thing with that one is the connections I made. Basically, from that film, then I managed to book three more feature films, all on Amazon, or going to be through that, because I just knew people from each one. I just bounced between different films from that, and but yeah, it teaches you so many things. Like, one thing about just relaxing on set is so underrated, and listening, man. Like, we're doing now, but it's the most fundamental thing you need to do in acting, because it's just listening and reacting. That's the main thing in, like, a scene, right? Like, obviously you have lines to remember and actions and all these underlining things, but if you do your preparation for that, you know it. You don't need to think about it, you know it, and then it's just listening and reacting.
Exactly. You're not overthinking what you're actually doing.
Because you can kind of see when an actor's thinking about what he has to say. Like, you can kind of tell when they're not too sure of, and that's the worst thing I want. Like, I don't want that to happen. So it's, and then relaxing on set is, like, again, it's just because you want to be playing the scene like it's the first time it's happened. You want it to be natural, like how we're talking now. But it's like, you know, on set you have like 30 people behind the camera. It's like
literally. Oh wow.
So it's
what has been your hardest scene so far?
Oh, definitely, definitely. When I did a crying scene on my last one.
Oh wow.
So this one was in December.
Yeah.
By far the best film I've done.
Yeah.
Like I fully committed to this one in ways I never thought possible.
Yeah.
And I just felt like there was a scene which is really powerful towards the end, and I really said to the director, I was like, it says like the character tears up, but I said I can fully see him crying in this scene, like, because I understood the character like very well,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I want to do justice for it, but I just didn't know if I physically could cry,
Mm-hmm.
because I've always struggled with that as well. Like, like growing up, my dad, I never saw my dad cry, so I think just subconsciously, it affected me, and I just never learned how to. And more recently, I'm trying to like open it. Like we say, open the instrument in acting. You want to be able to call upon any emotion whenever you need it.
Wow.
One of the hardest things, is easier said than done. But so I had a crying scene, and I said I really want to do this justice, and I had an acting coach at the time as well, and he said like, just tell the director, make sure you have time to get into it. And it was good. Like they really respected it when I said about it. And I think I tried to force it for the first 2 takes, and I felt it wasn't working. And then the director said to me, think about it. When you're crying, what's actually happening? You're trying not to cry. But if you're crying in front of people, you're actually trying to hold it in, right? So I was like, oh shit.
That flips it.
It flips it. Shit. But it actually makes it more difficult as well, because now I need to do that. But honestly, I don't know what happened, but it was like such a powerful moment, because I really kind of just stopped thinking about crying in general. And I was just really, again, listening and reacting in the scene to the person. And like, I just tapped into something, and then I remember I started improvising lines as well, but it helped me get to that point. And then I managed to actually get a few tears come out in the scene. And I just remember at the end, I was like, oh, wow. Like I was so exhausted, because if you have such a like emotional moment where you're crying a lot, it's exhausting.
Of course.
It's so exhausting.
Life.
Yeah. So that's when I knew I did it right, because I got that afterburn feeling after.
Is it like, as you see in the behind the scenes, do people actually clap when
they did? They actually did. Everyone clapped for me. Well, I said that I think everyone kind of knew this was like very difficult for me to do. So they all clapped, and like and everyone was really congratulating. So that was such a beautiful moment. I'll never forget that after.
Top moment.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Like from the guy I knew in uni to the guy you have to the man you're becoming now, that's mad, man.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, man, that you actually found. Well, it's not something that you found, because it was always there, no acting.
Yeah.
It was always there, and you know what? I feel like, and when I was a child, I also had a lot of insecurities and fears, so I never actually tuned in with any form of interest, like something that actually really drove me to, And then when I decided to do music, even though I love it, and I love to sing, and I imagine myself performing, for a long time I didn't feel good with myself until now. That's why I'm doing this. Music is still on a side for now, but I'm planning to get back to it at some point. But what I want to
here. I know those words.
But what I want to get to is that sometimes we go to uni, or we focus years of our life maybe studying something, and we put ourselves in this position of, okay, I'm doing this. If I'm investing so much time, it has to mean a lot. It has to be rewarded. I mean, it's like, what about we just do things like this just for the experience? As they say, for the plot. See what happens. From everything, you get something.
Yeah, exactly. But the hardest thing is just to start doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But once you start, it's like, the ball starts rolling. So I agree.
I can see that your attitude is about sometimes just taking risks and just overcoming your fears. What would you say is how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Oh, independent, driven. I would have used to say positive. Honestly, I think that's kind of changed more recently, unfortunately. But I think.
Have you heard of toxic positivity? It's an actual term in
Okay.
psychology. So you know how these people who are always like good vibes, like
Yeah.
I don't get in trouble with anyone.
Yeah.
That's a way to actually protect themselves from actually living human experiences, which
Okay.
are sadness,
Yeah.
conflict, anger. But as you said, positivity is not as much as before. I really connect with that because I feel like as we grow older, it's not that you lose positivity as in like how you see life, but don't you feel like you become a bit more cynical?
Yeah, but I think for me, like this, it's the situations that life brings us as well. For example, last year, I was positive. Like I was very positive because I had like all the I managed to do 9 films last year, which is ridiculous. And then the music stuff and modeling stuff and all of that. So I had a very good positive outlook. But this year, a lot more negative things have been happening. It's been more difficult. Yes, I try to look at the positives instead of like what do I have, and but it gets more difficult to to do that. It's easier said than done sometimes. So yeah, I know I will stay positive. I will say positive still. I'll say 3 words. Yeah, independent,
Optimistic,
driven, optimistic. Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah, I would say those 3 would. Yeah, definitely sum me up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the way I understood it now. I'm 26 now, so that doesn't mean I'm super old.
26, you look younger than me, boy.
Thank you, man. But it's like cynical, as in like I understood that life is like a fucking roller coaster. There's no moment in life
There's
where
no certainty, is there?
Yeah, it's always gonna be there, and you just have to adapt to it.
Yeah.
As hard as it can be sometimes. Jesus Christ, and it can be so hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. I think yeah, but as long as you can get back up.
Yeah.
And like, because that's what they say, life will knock you down, but if you can get back up and keep doing that, then good will come out of that. As long as you don't stay down. So
True.
yeah.
Well, just to wrap her up, what would be an advice that you would give to a young actor or a young creative? Because you are also a creative. What's an advice that you would give them?
I would say take risks. Honestly, take risks. Step out of your comfort zone. I would say that's easily number 1. Like, especially if you grow up in a very safe environment. And because you'll just get stuck in this bubble of not doing anything that's like gonna push you, right? So I think take risks, calculated risks. I mean, don't just do some stupid things. Do your research and stuff like that. But I would say and like follow your passion. If you know it's something that you want to do, something that you love and it's your calling, then don't let any limits. There is no limits. Don't let it get in your way.
That's a good question. How do you know that something is actually
what you want to do?
Yeah, like how do you feel like there's a passion for it?
I mean, I think I'm fortunate enough to, like I said, I knew from a young age acting is just. I mean, it could have changed, to be honest. Yeah, but it's just the feeling I get. It's like, for me, I love to challenge myself as well. And acting is the most difficult thing I've done. Like, it's mental, it's physical, it's emotional. And you use everything that you have. But it's also the most rewarding thing I've ever felt. And I also think I learn more about myself every time I do something. Every time I do a new role or something, I might discover something new about myself that I keep on, and I learn from this, like maybe a confidence from one character. Okay, now I've got that confidence as well. So it's really powerful. But I think, I don't know, yeah, like for me, that's how I kind of knew. For me, that's something that I love, but I see things in very black and white as well. Like if it's something that I enjoy and I want to do, am I going to do it? Yes or no? Yes. Okay, great. Are there going to be challenges? Yes, of course. But I've made that choice to do it now. So I think, it's just taking time and exploring different things and seeing what you like and seeing what works out for you really to discover.
Because I feel for many people who might be multifaceted, it's hard to pinpoint or to actually say, okay, I actually like I have a passion for this.
Yeah.
Because there might be different interests,
Yeah.
But I think I'm not sure if I have found my passion yet. But I would say definitely a passion is something that you don't get tired of doing.
No, you don't see it as work either. Like it's something that you can, like, again, the films we do, the films that I've done, I've been shooting 13 hours straight, and I can keep going.
Imagine,
which is crazy. Like if for the whole night we shoot sometimes, and I've got energy by the end of it.
So yeah,
there you go. That's how you know. That's how you know your passion, when you can do 13 hours straight and you're good to go.
When they tell you have to be here at 4 a.m. and you're there at 4 a.m. with a smile on your face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Cool, man. Cool. This was actually much better than what I expected, and I'm so glad that you came.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. It's great.
Man. Wow. What a story. Before we end, I always tell everyone to sign the portrait. You haven't seen it yet, so
I haven't.
See if you like it.
Okay. Oh man, this is great.
Yeah?
Yeah. What's my hair doing though? Besides the hair. Brilliant. Do you want me to sign this side?
I don't know if you have a
signature,
famous actor signature already, but I always tell
I'm only one of those. I'll let you choose.
Not yet. Oh wow!
There you go.
Nice. Let me see. Amazing. Hey, I like it, man. I like it.
Sweet.
Well, my guy, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Honestly. Hopefully we have a second one at some point.
Definitely, man.
If I stay in the UK.
yeah.
But yeah, for the time being, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, go to Amazon Prime and check this guy's work, because I'm gonna do it definitely after this. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. And much love. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Cool, man.
Hey,
I liked it, man.
This is really good. And you know what I like as well? Just being able to talk about this stuff, because I feel like there's sometimes, I think all these things, but I don't express it to many people. I just keep it to myself. But it's actually nice to, word it out loud and talk about it.
Catharsis, man.
Yeah.
Therapy.
Yeah, literally, man. Same time next week. Same time next week,
Same time next week, yeah, sure. I just started charging you. That's the thing.
never mind.
Never mind.
I've got a film.